Welcome to the World History 1 lecture series. At the end of each slide there will be a 10-second delay. Use this time to pause the presentation and complete your notes. When you are done, push play and you will move forward. This lecture will begin in 5 seconds. Welcome to World History 1 Lecture 1.3 on historical ages. And there's Father Time again. But he has something to tell us. He says, we've got too much time on our hands. Wait a minute. Not that type of time. Time. You see, he's happy that we've broken down his time into two major areas, BCE and CE, or BC and AD, that big split. And he's also happy to see that we've broken time down further into eras. We've got the Paleolithic and Neolithic eras, the ancient and classical eras, and the medieval and modern eras. But we still need to break time down even further so that we can truly understand where we are in our history. To do that, we need to create ages, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Go to the next slide. We discussed the difference between eras and ages in our last lecture. Now we're going to specifically focus on the idea of an age. And as we talked about last lecture, an age or period is a large interval of time with a definite characteristic. We also said that ages are smaller periods of time than eras, and there are points in our history where we can find two ages in one era. Let's look at the example below to understand this idea. As you can see, I have the outline of the medieval era, which goes from 500 CE to 1300 CE. But we can put two full ages in that time period, the Dark Age and the Middle Age. Two ages in one era. Go to the next slide. Let's start by looking at the prehistoric ages in world history. And as you can see on the bottom of the slide, I've shown you where these ages are in relation to the other ages in world history. Prehistoric ages are found before the time when humans kept written records. That's usually anything before 3300 BCE. And here's the cool part. Prehistoric eras and ages are identical. The Old Stone Age equals the Paleolithic era, 2 million BCE to 10,000 BCE. The New Stone Age equals the Neolithic era, 10,000 BCE to 3300 BCE. The names are interchangeable. Paleolithic era equals Old Stone Age, Neolithic era equals New Stone Age. Go to the next slide. Our next two ages are the Bronze Age and the Iron Age, and they fit well with the Ancient Era and the Classical Era. The Bronze Age lasts from 3300 BCE to about 1200 BCE. We're talking Mesopotamia to early Greece. Here's what happens. Man learns how to use a metal called bronze. And what he does is he uses bronze to create weapons and tools. This changes how we live, and it allows for civilizations to form. The Iron Age lasts from 1200 BCE to 500 CE. Talking about Greece to the very end of Rome, the very end of the Roman Empire. Iron is better than bronze. Iron is stronger than bronze, and iron is the metal upon which civilizations will rise and civilizations will fall. Go ahead to the next slide. The two ages in the medieval era show us how civilizations fail and how they start to rebuild. The Dark Age is the part where we see how civilizations fail. Dark Age runs from about 400 CE to about 1000 CE. During this time, the Catholic Church is in charge, but besides that, everything else is chaos, and things are really bad in Europe. We also see Islam form and begin to spread out of Arabia. The Middle Age, or the High Middle Age, which is from 1000 to 1300 CE, this is where we start to see things rebuild. Things get better with the growth of European kingdoms like France and England and Spain, Portugal and Germany, and others. The Dark Age is where we see how things fail. The Middle Age, High Age is where we see how things begin to rebuild. Go to the next slide. The last age we'll study this year is the first age of the modern era, and it's called the Renaissance. This is the age when we see a rebirth of civilization in Europe after civilization failed during the medieval era. The Renaissance lasts from 1300 CE to 1500 CE. We see a rebirth of culture in places like Italy, where art, literature, thought, music, and science all begin to flourish. The Renaissance is really important to us today because that is the foundation for our modern civilization. I hope you enjoyed this lecture, and I'll see you in class.